Howdy folks, Corky Duke Farminator here. Come with me if you want to farm. This is Farming Simulator 22, Michigan Farms Map, Schafer's Ag Service Part 113 Bravo. Dropped Malachi off for his first day at school, and I'm back. Probably give my mom a call here in a little bit. She's already liked the post I made, well, I shared actually, about Malachi's first day at school. We're just going to special offers with the dealer. Probably nothing I want. Like I said, nothing I want. Hey, Austin. How you doing? Good to see from you. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing good. We dropped Malachi off for his first day of school. Still can't hardly believe it. I'm doing okay. I'm glad you're fantastic. Might as well call my mom's. Probably now's a good time as any. No, I'm off tonight. I don't work tonight. Back to work tomorrow night. I started a new Bomber Crew campaign today. Super Bowl 10. Woo! What am I doing?
Morning.
Morning. How are you doing? Yeah, it's still morning here.
Pardon?
It's still morning there too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I got another half hour or so.
Yeah. Did you see? So you saw the video? I got more videos coming with his first day of school. So
that was really cute. He's really growing up.
Yeah,
I can't
he
believe
is.
it.
Yeah, he's tall for a 5-year-old. He really is.
So
No,
he's
not
in
yet.
School.
Huh? Go ahead.
He's in school now.
Yep, he's in school now. Kindergarten.
So you don't know how he liked it.
No, not yet. I'll find out this afternoon, but it doesn't really matter. He's got to go anyway, even if he doesn't like it. I didn't like school, and I still had to go. So
I hope he likes it.
I
I'm
hope
sure
so,
he's
too.
going to learn a lot.
yeah, let's hope so.
You had to pack his lunch.
Yeah, he brought a backpack. So, of course, well, my biggest concern is school shootings.
Oh,
And that's my concern in Ohio too, with Matthew, Malachi, and Harley. I mean, Matthew, Harley,
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Why did I say Malachi? Oh, yeah. Oh,
No, you try not to think of it. You really.
yeah. Well, I'm
But
so used
it's
to saying
hard.
that name, so when it comes to children and everything. So, but anyway,
Oh, you're on your computer?
yeah. I'm live streaming Schafer's Ag Service again.
I see.
But I think it's your favorite map, isn't it? Because I got every single animal you can have in the game on this farm.
I
Including
know
ducks.
you had to put my goats in there.
Yeah, ducks and goats. Now, I won't be able to get any goat milk until they're 18 months old. So, and let's see.
I guess I didn't realize that. I just knew we had goats and we
Yeah.
got goat milk.
And they're only 10 months old now, so. Yeah, both my goat barns are only 10 months old. So it's going to be a while before I get any goat milk. So. But once I do, it actually sells pretty good in this game. So.
Well, it's healthy. It's healthier than regular cow's milk for sure,
Yeah.
they say. Or at least they did. Maybe things have changed now, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you have any thunderstorms or anything down there?
No, it's a clear day today.
We had thunder and lightning the other night. I mean,
did you?
we hadn't had that for quite a while. I mean,
Oh.
it was really banging.
Really? Wow.
And I have, well, it's really a dead limb hanging from the tree down into the ground, just upright there. It looks kind of cute.
Huh.
Then there's a dead branch in the tree that the leaves are dying.
Okay.
That got wind damage or something.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, I'm trying to expand my fields right now. I've got one field. I got the forest chopped down in one field, but I got to wait another month before I can combine it with the other field. So, to make it bigger. So, where did it go? Where did it go? What the heck? Where did that tractor go?
It's in the barn.
What the hell is it doing over here? It's way off course.
It ran out of gas.
No, it's the AI screwing up again.
Well, I'm trying to help them.
Come on. Come on. Dang it. I don't know. Dang it. Come on. Way off course. I don't even know how it got over here.
Driver just jumped off the tractor and let it go by itself.
I don't know what he did. I guess I need to keep an eye on him to try and figure out what he did. I got other things to do though. Anyway, I'm going to do a bomber crew campaign on Cumberland Heights where I work.
Okay.
Kind of like what I did with the Littman brothers. So,
Do you have to have permission to use their name or anything?
well, I just got off the phone with my boss a couple hours ago. If it's going to be all right, because it's Alcoholics Anonymous and stuff like that. But apparently it is okay. So he was thinking that, because then I asked him if he wanted to be the pilot because that's the only position I needed. And I said he thought I was going to be using real pictures, and I said no, it doesn't work like that. I have to use what the game gives me, which is like cartoon figures. So he said it's okay. So
Well, good thing you got his permission. I mean,
yeah,
you let him know what you were doing.
yeah.
You could maybe gotten yourself in trouble, maybe not.
It's possible, yeah. I know if I used the patients, I probably would because that's classified.
Oh,
So,
right.
But the guys I work with, he just said, make sure that, and I got permission from everybody that I asked to be on the bomber. So he said, I guess that's all I need. So
Does anybody really pay attention or watch what you do?
yeah, some people do.
I see. Well, good.
Yeah. Even though it is an old game that people really don't play that much anymore, so but here those stones are picking up stones from the field. I just made a really big field out of an area that used to be partial woods, and this is a huge field. He just dove right into the river, the stream. Can he get out of it? Let's see if he can get out of it, Mom. Can he get out of it?
It's floating.
No, he can't get, the bank's too high. Man, you gotta be kidding me. This is ridiculous.
Oh, you're gonna have to call a wrecker.
I'm gonna have to do this manually, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, I had to manually get him out, Austin. So, but yeah, there's no, I don't have any Reaper combine in this map yet. I might get one later on this summer when I got all that barley and wheat to harvest. But for right now, I've got, what do I got? I got a John Deere. Going in the old barn, Mom. John Deere X9, what is it? X9 1000.
Never heard of it, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, up until the Reaper combines came out, it had the biggest hopper, which is like 27,000 liters. Now with the Reaper combines, I can have like a 1.5 million liter harvester. So, or hopper, I mean. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to do that. Hitting the wrong buttons here.
Pay attention.
Yeah. I always hit the wrong button, so.
Just joking.
Oh, you're right. I need to. I got over 30,000 liters of stones, though. It's a big field. I just got done plowing it.
That's a good thing to get stones out of the fields.
Yeah. But I really don't remember doing that. You know, in reality, I don't remember any of the farmers, you know, picking up stones out of their field, especially with the equipment that I got in this game. Just like I don't remember them rolling either after they planted crops.
That part, no, I don't. Yeah. They put them in, and that was I thought it.
Yeah, or
didn't do
they might
anything
fertilize it afterwards, which is what I'll do in this game too. But or anhydrous ammonia when they planted corn was put in the ground same time they planted the corn.
Yeah, the anhydrous, you had a tank pulled
Yeah.
behind the
The corn planter. Yep.
planter, yeah. Anhydrous tank, that's where you try to hide a body.
Body?
Happened here in Tipton, in Michigan.
Oh, is that? That case, that murder case, yeah. When's the last time Lenawee County had a murder?
I won't even try to figure it out. I probably
You
have
probably
heard
Google
no
it.
or whatever, but I have no idea. But I
Sure,
think
it's
it
been a
happens
while.
more than what you think.
Really? Using the John Deere 10 million liter trailer.
Is the trailer John Deere green too?
I could actually make it any color I want. Well, I think one's John Deere green, the other one's John Deere yellow, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I actually got a couple of them, and yeah, one's John Deere green, and the other one's John Deere yellow. So. I should be all right for leaving him now. Not going to run into that creek anymore, the stream. Very high banks for the stream, though. And where is my grass planter at? It might be in this barn. Might be in the newer barn, Mom. Yeah, there it is. It was in the newer barn.
Well, safe place to keep it then.
Yeah.
Keep it covered.
Got to get that tractor out of the way. In the way.
What's the temperature down there now?
Oh, pretty warm. I don't know exactly what it is right offhand, but yeah, it's pretty warm.
Mine says 77, and I put some letters in my mail slot, and it was humid. I mean, it's hot and yucky. I like my inside my house in my air conditioning, but I need to get groceries.
Yeah.
But I don't have far to go, so
That's good.
I've been going to Jerry's, which is very short, but I was thinking about doing bushes. Just, there's something different.
Okay.
Probably spend more money, but I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't do it that often because there's nothing to spend money on. I don't need anything, basically.
Yeah.
Except I might have to spend some money on some new carpeting. in my living room. I got a big spot of a girl came in her bathing suit from the pool or from the splash pad.
Uh-huh.
Had chlorine bleach on her bathing suit, wet. She sat on the floor, which I'm glad she sat on the floor. And now I have a bleach spot right there.
Okay.
So I gotta figure out. You could cut it out and try to patch it, but I think I'll just get the new carpeting, something different.
Okay.
I mean, I can go all the way to downtown Tecumseh to Carpet on Wheels and get me some.
Cool.
I like what I have, but I think I'll get something like that, only with maybe a little bit of a green in it to go with my couches
Uh-huh. Okay.
and my chairs. I'm hoping I can get, something like that.
Ah. That didn't work. He still wound up in the creek. He seems to like that creek.
Oh, did he need a bath?
The tractor does. Oh, excuse me. Got to keep an eye on him now. Okay, that should be good.
You got Malachi playing a game like that for him, his size, or age?
No, he's pretty much plays his own game. So Alrighty, getting everything all set up. Still got to chop down a bunch more trees.
Well, I like my trees here. I like my woods here.
Do you?
Well, look out my back door, like I keep saying, I'm still in the country.
Yeah.
They did kind of clean underbrush or whatever you call it, and it was open for a while. You could see the trunks of the trees. Well, now that's all growing back up again. Workers with their white trucks and yellow hard hats were out there yesterday in one corner of the woods. I don't know how to do with power, electrical wires or something, but I didn't notice how long they were there. I just noticed they were out there doing something and then one up near the front. See, I don't know how they got there, but I could see the flashing lights from their vehicles. Do you hear helicopters at all?
Yeah, sometimes. Not usually from inside my room, but
yeah. Aunt Marilyn and I both go back and forth, you know, who hears a helicopter first. But it usually comes somewhat like from the east and goes to the west.
Okay.
Don't know where it's from or where it's going, but it makes a noise, so you know it's. But very seldom do I hear airplanes.
Oh.
You never do get rid of your cough, do you?
No. And I'm wondering if it has to do with the mold in this apartment.
So get the health inspector to come in and clean it up.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it can be.
Or it's not safe.
Yeah.
Must be nobody's caught it though, as far as inspections.
Yeah.
Do you wear glasses or do you need glasses
To read, I need glasses now. But
small print?
yeah. Oh.
Well, like I keep saying, I always could read small print, but then when I got cataracts and new lenses, then they cover that right up, and so now I have to wear glasses again. But still, at was distance I couldn't really see. But up close was always the finer, you know, the smaller the print I could always see. But now I get my magnifying glass out every now and again.
I gotta break one out every now and then myself. Oh,
Do you ever hear from Bobby Poole?
no.
I guess he's getting older.
Yeah.
There
Ain't
was
nobody
just
getting younger.
There was just a Marsh reunion. Well, it was a Harwood reunion,
Uh-huh.
but it's always the Marshes that are there the most. And I guess he's maybe looking his age, but he was there, and I think Rick and Ken were there too.
Huh.
It was definitely a majority of Marshes because they have bigger families.
Yeah.
The only one that represented the rest was the Wises, Stan and Cheryl and Larry Schultz, and Greg and his wife. But other than that, no Millers or no Swanstons were there, no Schafers, which is. But I mean, it was Saturday afternoon. Couldn't be Saturday afternoon. Hot, humid, outdoors. I didn't want any part of it, but I guess it wasn't all that bad there. There was a nice breeze.
Ah, see? Could have went.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just around the corner at Cal Zorn's park, so there was no reason I couldn't have driven there for sure, but I just, humidity and being outside, I do not like.
Right.
Never have, and it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
And I could tell it was Jackie when I mailed my letters. Just going out on the porch there a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Talking about the porch, would you believe Melinda came last week one day and power washed my railings?
Really? Mindy did?
Melinda Lee Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Portable power washer. Took her probably a half hour by the time she set it all up and undid it. But I mean, it didn't take any time. But the pillars or whatever you call it, the railings, were turning green.
Oh, wow.
And so it wasn't looking good. And she's got it all shiny. And we'll see how long it was. It just came this, well, probably from last year, and there now this year. But that's the first time it's done that, so I don't know what the conditions happened or what happened, but they sure look nice and shiny now.
Huh.
But I guess she's power washed her porch or deck or, things like that. It wasn't nothing new, but she was just a small power washer on 2 wheels. Hooked it up to my water and zap, zap, she did it.
Huh.
Of all my nieces, she's really been quite helpful.
Yeah.
Takes me out for more supper time, meals, and
that's cool.
Yeah, where I don't hear from Aunt Karen's girls at all. But I don't call them either. And
you need to start calling people, Mom.
I know. I have grandsons too I don't talk to. And I have a granddaughter that has my great-grandson. Last time we talked, did I tell you he's walking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not a little baby anymore.
No. Nobody's getting any younger, Mom. When are you going to learn that?
At my age, it takes a while to sink in.
Oh boy.
It takes time. Just wait till you get older.
Believe me, I'm feeling it right now. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it.
Well, some people it gets easier, some people it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about it and Eileen, but I don't really know how she's, really doing. I haven't heard. It didn't sound too good, so.
Yeah.
But she's only 88.
Yeah.
But then Joyce will be either 90 or 91 in December.
Wow.
So she's hanging in there.
Yeah.
She's got family, her kids, most of them kind of live close to her, so she's always got somebody to pick her up and take her places.
That's cool.
But otherwise, I think she, still drives, but maybe not that far anymore either.
Throwing down some lime right now, Mom.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But I don't have to do the whole field, just parts of it.
Why?
Because I've already
Yes.
limed parts of other parts of this field. I've already limed it. So I'm just trying to do the parts that I hadn't limed before. I remember riding with Dad in the Easy Rider when he would line fields. And I remember Warren and I getting in the back of the Easy Rider in the hopper to push the lime down into the auger. And I remember him saying to us, "Don't tell your mother you're doing this."
That you could put your foot down by the auger.
Oh, I think it was safer than that. I think it was because I think there was a cage protecting it, so you couldn't get caught in the auger, and that's why it was so tough to go, fall down into the well. The lime got thick, so. But yeah, no, I think we were safe. Dad wouldn't have put us in there if we could have gotten hurt.
Well, you're hoping that, yeah. But if you wanted the work done, I'm not sure. That was the only way he could get it cleaned out.
Yeah.
That was a big rig, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That was big. I remember people's looks when it would drive down the road.
Well, it would drive right down the middle of the road.
Yeah,
Took up the whole
it pretty much took up the whole road.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure would. Hi, Mom. I'll be right back. I'll get more coffee.
I thought you had to go to the bathroom.
No, not yet. I will soon, though.
As soon as you drink coffee, you'll...
Of course. But yeah, Malachi saw the bus drive by this morning, and it's like, that's my bus. It's like, so, oh man, come on now. So Eddie's got to call and find out what we got to do to have the bus pick him up.
Oh, the bus would pick him up
Oh
there?
yeah, yeah. Because we saw it go by this morning, so. And you know, the school's like maybe a mile or two from here. It's not far at all, maybe 2 or 3 at the most. So I don't know why this piece of equipment cannot drive past a bridge. It boggles my damn mind.
Wait, did you ever let him walk to school if it isn't
No,
that far?
no, it's too far for that.
Too far, yeah.
Too far for him to walk to school. It's about probably 2 or 3 miles from here.
Oh, okay.
It's almost right next to the VA. It's pretty close to the VA. So.
What are the hours of the school? What
He
time
should
does
be
it
out.
open?
Well, today's only a half day, so he should be out in like a half an hour. Around 11, I think. And I think Stephanie was going to go pick him up. So. Time to drop the stones off.
Have a stone pile.
Well, it'll be inside my farm supply factory, so where I'll be making lime. So make that lime. How many stones do I got in there now? What a few. All right, let's make some lime. I need stones and water.
How do you get water?
Just put it in. Take my water tank and put it inside the. Same thing I would if I'm putting hay or grass or silage in it. It has a an entrance point for both liquid and solids. So. We got 86,000 liters of stones. I don't know what kind of stone pile that
understand
was.
liters. I want pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Tons, pounds.
Well, I think because this game was developed by Europeans, so they use the metric system over there.
Well, somebody needs to update it for over here.
You would think. You would definitely think.
I'm not sure when kids go to school here. I think it probably was in the paper, but I don't remember what it said. I don't know as far as, Matthew and Annabelle and Harley when they start school. It's usually, to me, it's way too early. It should Go back to the days when it was the day after Labor Day.
Yeah. No, we need a better education system.
Weather-wise, it's usually still too hot and uncomfortable, in August, where if you wait till maybe September, it'll be more comfortable, but I guess that doesn't bother kids like it does me.
Yeah, probably not. You're the sheep?
Yes, I did. Bah.
Meh. These are my dairy sheep. There's the sheep milk.
Never heard of that until you started talking about that.
I've never heard of it either. Because I never knew that sheeps even had udders,
Well, they'd have to for their babies.
Yeah, they would, I guess.
But to drink, no. I mean, it was definitely cow's milk or goat milk.
Right. Never heard of sheep milk.
Sheep wool, yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of weird. I don't know.
Somebody knows something we don't know, must be.
Either that or it's just made up in the game, so doesn't apply to real life farming.
They don't know anything about farming, maybe.
That could be it. I think that's what it is. Because like I said, I'm chopping down trees again, and they're calling it wood chips, but it's sawdust. Because it's the stuff that when you're chopping down trees with a chainsaw, and what comes off of the tree is sawdust, not wood chips. Because you have to make wood chips,
Right.
Oh, dang it. Keep forgetting and can't cross this damn bridge. I don't know why it can't.
Didn't make it wide enough?
No, it's plenty wide. It just, for some reason, it doesn't want to. It only won't. You can manually cross it, but to get the AI to do it, the AI won't do it. It'll wind up crashing. And I don't understand that. But yeah, you can. There's plenty of room to get across the bridge, and I can drive it manually across it. But whenever I try to get the AI to do it, it winds up crashing and flipping over.
Did I tell you she's fine, but Heather was in an accident?
Oh, no, you didn't. She is okay?
Well, just happened not too many, maybe less than a week ago.
Oh, wow. What happened?
She hit a semi, but I don't know whose fault it was for sure, but it got her on her right side.
Mm-hmm.
Just the front end of her vehicle, but they totaled it. She'll have to get a different one, but she was shaken up, somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, this seatbelt got her neck.
But she's not hurt other than that?
No.
It's always good.
No, she still works. I mean, she's getting retirement age, or she could, but she's still, right now, I think in a hospital, but don't quote me.
Oh, really? And she's still living in Florida, right?
Yes, Pensacola. Both her kids are real close to her, where she lives, so.
Huh.
She likes it down there once she got down there, I guess. She wants Marilyn to come down and live with her, but that'll never happen.
Really? I didn't know they were even talking again.
Well, those two are, yes.
Okay.
Just
The other
those
two are. All right.
Heather and Marilyn, but I don't think Marilyn, she would do it in a way, but she doesn't like the temperature.
Yeah.
She likes the different seasons, like, I do up here.
Yeah.
She'd rather have Heather come up here and stay. No, Heather and Marilyn are fine. It's just
Okay.
the other
Jackie
two.
and Mindy. I won't talk to her. All right.
It's been a while now since I have really talked or seen Jackie, but I know she works at the hospital, and I also know she goes whenever she can, goes camping. She likes to do her camping deal.
Okay.
She doesn't mind, being by herself, setting it up, I'm doing it. I know she goes up north a lot. But that's why she works. So she can, go camping.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she also works to pay her bills.
That probably helps too. And she still lives with Mike.
Works for me.
Still live there in Edron.
Yeah. I think that's enough. I think I've lined enough of that field to cover the spots that I missed before, so. Now I gotta fertilize it, then plant the grass. Then I get 2 cuttings out of that grass, and then I'll plant weed in it for next year. It's a big field. L-shaped field.
That makes it complicated, not up
Right.
and down, but up and around.
I think I had to cut down like about 500 trees before I could get it this size. So.
I know you said just a half a day, but what are Malachi's school hours?
Looks like around 8 to 3 on a normal day, looks like. Which is pretty much the same that I had. It was like, what, 8:10 to like 3:03, I think, if I remember correctly.
It was odd hours, but
Yeah.
I was thinking my school was 9 to 4 or something. When I went to school 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, you're at the point where you could actually say umpteen decades ago.
Just pile it on.
Yeah. Gotta go get those vegetables. I keep forgetting to get those vegetables. Why am I forgetting to get the vegetables?
Are you eating any lettuce down there?
No.
Did you eat any lettuce?
No. I have a saying. Let us not eat lettuce. Malachi does. He was eating some the other day. He's got a weird, because he loves pickles. So I buy jars of pickles
dill
for
or
him.
Sweet?
Dill. And he'll just eat pickles. So.
Well, nothing wrong with pickles, but I'd rather have sweet ones.
Yeah, sweet gherkins.
Or relish, sweet relish.
Well, I make pickles in my game here. Let me see how many pickles I've got in my storage area here. But I think I have some in there.
You just have the small pickles, not the cucumbers?
Well, I need the cucumbers to turn them into pickles.
Mm.
Can't see it. All right, let's see how many pickles we got. May not be a whole. May not have any. Olive oil. Oh, I got 0 pickles in there. Don't have
That's
any.
not very many.
No, it's not very many at all. You are correct with that, Mom.
See, my mind does work. It comes out every now and again.
Sure. Oh.
How much sleep do you get?
Usually about 4 or 5 hours is usually enough.
You just learn to live with that much?
Yeah, I guess so. Every once in a while, it seems like I'll catch up and get more, but I can get by on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Well, you just trained yourself to do that.
Well, the Marine Corps did that for me. Sleep deprivation. That was the very first thing we trained on when I got to boot camp. I remember the plane ride going out to San Diego, and all the stewardesses, because pretty much almost the whole plane was chartered for us. There were a few people that weren't going to boot camp on the plane, but most of it was all of us going, to boot camp from not only Detroit but from other areas, like somewhere from like Toledo and stuff like that came up, and the stewardess kept telling us, "Get some sleep. You're going to need it." Of course, we were too excited to sleep, but we didn't understand why they were saying that. And then, whoa. Once we went through the first night, because They didn't let us sleep that first night. They kept us awake all night. So
Well, that wasn't nice.
well, it's training.
Yeah,
They call that
get
training.
ready for what was coming.
Yep. So, yeah, that was probably the most consistent thing they trained us on was sleep deprivation. Because it didn't stop there. So, in just 4 years, I mean, like I said, I don't remember when I got out ever taking that many, that long sleeping, you know. So,
Well, you had to readjust. You'd have to readjust all that you just went through.
It's like it doesn't leave you, though.
Well,
just like leaving a building and scan rooftops for snipers, that doesn't leave you either, you know. So,
well, nowadays it's a good idea.
yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Hopefully Democrats start winning elections, like especially the midterms. But I feel sorry for whoever gets elected, and especially hopefully it should be a Democrat in 2028, because they are going to have a huge mess to try to clean up. Because Trump is doing so much damage to this country. All the federal workers that they fired,
Health-wise, he isn't in that good a shape, is he?
No, he's not. But of course, they won't say just what's wrong with him, because he keeps going to the hospital, and they won't. Of course, the White House won't say what's wrong with him. So, I mean, it's just. Then they'll turn around and lie and say this is the most transparent presidency ever in the history of America. Total lie. I mean, it's one lie after the other. I mean, it's disgusting. You know why our founding fathers put freedom of the press in the First Amendment?
I have no idea. You have more idea. I mean, I know you know, yes.
Yes. Well, it's because men, especially men in power, will be corrupt. And the press can reveal some of that corruption, And that's why our founding fathers put the freedom of the press in the First Amendment, along with freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, because those are some of the most important things to have freedoms for. Because that way the press can keep an eye on what's going on, not just within the White House, but in Congress, and then report to the American people what's going on. That's why we have, and why do you think Trump hates the press so much and tells everybody they're the enemy of the people? No, they're the only way we know what the hell you're doing,
What's really going on?
Exactly. And that's exactly why he doesn't like the press, because, he's totally corrupt, breaking laws, violating the Constitution before noon each day, and he doesn't want the press finding out because he knows they'll report it to the people. And that's why, and all these press agencies are being bought by far right-wing billionaires. And that's why a lot of these important stories are not making it to regular mainstream media. So this means that independent media is going to be our most important source for news, exactly, for what's going on. Because, it's like Clarence Murdoch, or not, Clarence, I don't, but Murdoch, who owns Fox News, also owns the Wall Street Journal, I mean, Wall Street Journal used to be a prestigious, well-known newspaper, but now it's a freaking joke because it won't report on any of the bad things that Trump does. And Fox News is a propaganda station, cut and dry. I mean, when they got sued by Dominion voting machines, They literally said in court, they said this in court, they're not news, they're entertainment. They said this under oath in court, that they're not news, they're entertainment. And this is all because of the fairness doctrine that guess which president eliminated the fairness doctrine in 1988 or 89. Who was president in 1988 or 89? Reagan. So his eliminating of the fairness doctrine, which says that the news medias must report on both sides of the story and they can't lie, with that gone, the press can now lie. So that's why Fox News was created, because they're simply lying to their listeners. You know, they got sued for $787 million that Dominion collected from them. Smartmatic also sued them, and I think they're trying to ask for $2.2 billion because Smartmatic ain't settling. They're taking them to court. They're going to squeeze all the money they can from them. But where Dominion voting machines settled at $787 million, which is almost $1 billion, that's still a lot of money. Then that Olympian that they charged with that vandalizing the reflecting pool. Do you remember that story? Did you know about it?
I probably did, but I probably forgot.
He's suing both the Department of Justice and Fox News. So he's already announced a defamation case against both of them because they literally said that he's guilty of it. You know, we've got the evidence, and then all of a sudden they dropped the case because lo and behold, they don't have any evidence that he vandalized the reflecting pool. So now he's suing them for defamation, and I hope he gets several $100 million. You know?
Did they ever fix the pool yet?
No, it's still, there's nothing but algae in there now. I like the political cartoon that shows Trump looking at the reflecting pool and somebody standing beside him, and Trump says, "All I see is scum." And the guy standing next to him says, "Well, it is a reflecting pool."
Whoops.
Oh, I love that one. That is hilarious.
Careful what you say. It comes back to harm you.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, this.
Well, back to anyway. It's almost 12:30, and I hate to interrupt, but my soaps come on at 12:30.
That's fine, Mom.
I have to watch them.
Yeah.
You have to play your game.
No problem, Mom. I understand. No big deal. So.
All right. Thanks for calling again.
No problem.
Take care of yourself.
You too, and hopefully see you soon. Love you too, Mom. Take care. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. That was my mom.
They're testing not only the president's endorsement power, but also the strength of establishment Democrats. Then the president's secret flight switch from Turkey, where we're learning about the mission to conceal his travel after the NATO summit amid threats from Iran. Plus, the public health concerns doctors and medical experts are now raising after the White House moved to reduce the number of recommended vaccines for children. Money, power, politics is just getting started on this Tuesday morning. Good morning. I am Antonia Hilton in Today for Stephanie Rule. It is 9 a.m. on the East Coast and 6 a.m. out west, and we are just 84 days away from the midterms. And as we come on the air today on this Tuesday, It is once again primary day, and voters are heading to the polls in 6 different states. In Wisconsin, Democratic Socialist Francesca Hong leads the pack, the party's nominee for governor. But the so-called establishment Democrats are trying to coalesce support behind David Crowley. In Minnesota, another progressive versus moderate battle is playing out, this time over a Senate seat. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan and U.S. Congresswoman Angie Craig are vying to replace Democratic Senator Tina Smith there. The governor's seat in that state is also open, with Amy Klobuchar leading the way for Democrats. On the Republican side, though, there's a wide field of candidates, including none other than Mike Lindell, the staunch Trump ally, election denier, and pillow salesman. And in South Carolina, Republicans are going to vote on a nominee to take over Lindsey Graham's Senate seat. Trump endorsed Graham's sister, Darlene, who's serving out the rest of her brother's term, but doesn't have much on her political resume. And this is a wide open race with 10 candidates, so this will likely go to a runoff with the top 2 vote getters. Now remember, we want to hear from you. What questions do you have about today's midterm primary races or any of today's news? Scan the QR code on your screen and send us your questions, and we're going to try to answer them later in the show. To kick things off, though, I want to bring in MS Now reporter Will McDuffie, who's live for us in Madison, Wisconsin this morning. So, Will, it is good to see you. Walk me through the final arguments from Hong and Crowley that they're trying to make to Democratic voters in these final hours today.
Hey, Antonia. So Hong, who we actually just saw here vote at this polling site in Madison, she's trying to convince working class Americans and Wisconsinites that she is going to be their champion. And she actually was asked by reporters here what her first day agenda is going to look like. And she mentioned calling a special session of the Wisconsin legislature to impose a moratorium on data centers. And we've seen how popular that issue has been nationwide. And I think that's a big part of her appeal as well. And she's tapping into a really kind of broad spectrum issue. Crowley, meanwhile, is touting his executive experience. He also says he's someone who can unite the party, because remember, the knock on Hong is that she's not electable, and polls show her up 20 points or so, but I'm not sure I buy that, because I've met enough Democratic voters, not just at Crowley events, but like leaving polling sites, who voted for someone else because they worry that Hong can't get past the finish line in November, Antonio.
Well, the other sort of dynamic here is that Wisconsin has open primaries. Can you talk me through how that could factor into what happens in this race?
Well, theoretically, I mean, anyone, no matter their party affiliation, could choose, a ballot when they show up at a polling site for either party. So Republicans could show up and vote, on a Democratic ballot. But I haven't seen much evidence, Antonia, that that's happening. Now, we do know that Republicans have been waiting in the wings for Hong to come out of this race. I mean, a group that actually has ties to the Republican Governors Association has pumped like $3 million into this race just on ads touting Hong's, left-leaning policies. Seems like an attempt to get her across the line with Democratic primary voters. So we'll see.
All right, Will, thank you so much for your reporting there on the ground. And now I'm going to bring in our leadoff panel. I have with me Sam Stein, managing editor for The Bulwark and an MS Now political contributor, Susan Glasser, staff writer for The New Yorker, and former Missouri senator and MS Now political analyst Claire McCaskill. It is so good to have all of you with me this morning. But Senator, I'm going to start with you. So 12 hours from now, we're going to start seeing some results rolling in. And I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Wisconsin and Francesca Hong in particular. What are you going to be watching for?
Well, I think there's 2 races that are really important for Democrats tonight. One is the Senate race in Minnesota with Angie Craig and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan duking it out between the center left and the little further left. And then you have the same thing going on in Wisconsin with the candidates that we've been talking about. Hong has really tried to back off some of her really incendiary Twitter's feeds that she did years ago, where she said things that are really pretty far out of the mainstream. And I think that's what has Democrats worried. And that's frankly why the Republicans are spending a lot of money trying to promote Hong, because they think she's more beatable. Time will tell. I think there's a lot of energy on the left right now. And this candidate is trying really to moderate and tell everyone, hey, this is really about stopping data centers and getting you insurance. So we'll see about the turnout. The turnout will tell the tale. Will young voters really turn out for Hong like she's counting on?
what role do you think her ground game may play here? Because for months now, reporters have been documenting the way in which she's gone from community and community in the state, had conversations about data centers before other candidates were talking about them.
Oh, I can't remember what the hell I was looking for.
And I think there's sort of this question of, could she recreate something like what we saw here locally in New York, where Mamdani's able to pull people who maybe would otherwise say, I'm not interested in voting in a primary at all, and bring them into the fold? Do you think there's a chance they're going to see a dynamic like that tonight?
It's possible. Primary voters are typically not those kinds of voters. Typically, you see that in the general, where you have people that are not always engaged and not always paying attention. Primary voters have a tendency to be your more hardcore voters. So that's why it'll be interesting to see, first, if there's any Republicans taking a ballot for Hong, and secondly, whether or not the enthusiasm she's seeing on the ground translates into enough votes to get her across the finish line. I think she's favored. I don't think she's going to win by anything near 20 points.
Yeah, and I mean, we just saw in Michigan that the polling was quite off there too. So I wouldn't be surprised by that. Sam, I want your take on this race. And one of the things that I think is people sort of process some of her tweets. David Crowley also has some eyebrow-raising tweets.
Some serious
but,
moolah.
one of the things people have been talking about Hong a lot is this tweet around wanting to cancel Thanksgiving. I think when you remember who Tom Tiffany is, though, who's the presumptive Republican that she would be facing off against, I mean, this is a person who didn't want to certify the 2020 election results. And I wonder, when you're talking about voters who are in the middle, if strange or sort of too left-leaning sort of 2020 era tweets are going to be so bothersome to them that they would actually go cast a vote for somebody who believes lies that have been debunked time and time again.
Well, first off, my in-laws called me a jobless nobody, and I endured it all for my love for Claire.
Well, first off, we all have problematic tweets, with the exception of Claire. She's only been perfect on Twitter, so let's put that to the side. On the issue of Tom Tiffany and election denialism, you know, we just wrote about this, my colleague Lauren Egan did on the Bulwark this Sunday, and it's interesting how little attention, actually, this is getting. Tom Tiffany is an election denier. He has echoed President Trump's arguments that there was fraud against all evidence in the election, that Wisconsin erroneously was awarded to Joe Biden in 2020. And look, we haven't lived with an experience where the governor of one of those critical swing states, there's 5 or 6 of them, is someone who does not believe in election integrity. And that is a possibility if Tom Tiffany does win. Obviously, the real implications of that are down the road in 2028, but it is something that has to be considered as people go to the ballot box. Does that affect how primary voters vote? I doubt it. I think, for example, a lot of Francesca Hong's supporters will make the argument that even though she has these incendiary or outlandish tweets, who doesn't love Thanksgiving, for instance, that she actually is best situated to win a general election in their estimation, because she can cross coalitions, because she can reach disaffected voters, because she may have more inroads with working class voters that David Crowley might not. Now, whether you believe that or not is erroneous, because they're going to go and cast ballots on the idea that she actually is more electable in the general election. I do think, though, that a larger conversation probably is in order about what this means for not just 2028 and election denialism. Wisconsin also is going to go through a redistricting process in all likelihood. The state Senate has been up in hands since 2010. There's a possibility that it changes control as well. So there's huge structural implications for the state of Wisconsin at the ballot today. I don't know if it affects the primary vote, but it is something to consider.
So, Susan, I want your take on the dynamics there, and some of the lessons might be learned from Wisconsin.
Oh, that's what I was...
Because one of the big open questions as
Republicans
try to sort of use socialism, communism as this boogeyman, and to drive their own voters to the polls, or sort of concerned moderates and independents in the center. I wonder if what we're seeing as we see someone like Hong surge is, do you think that voters are genuinely interested in socialism, are starting to more and more identify that way? Or do you think they are simply looking to try something new, looking for people who they believe are going to be disruptors, make who they view as the establishment uncomfortable in D.C. or in state leadership? What do you think is actually happening here as voters listen to people labeled a certain way, but then also try to balance the sort of actual policy proposals that have been put in front of them?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I mean, you can look at this along the ideological spectrum or along the spectrum of outsiders and insiders at a time when the American voters, particularly Democrats right now, are extremely angry, frustrated, unhappy with the direction of the country, with the fact of Trump's return to office. That's going to be a huge motivating factor for Democrats across the country. It's why you've seen a big surge in Democratic primary turnout this year. I think the numbers I saw were something like 57% as of a few weeks ago of all the primary turnout so far was Democratic. Now, that's not an exact predictor of what's going to happen in November, but it suggests the motivation right now is among Democratic primary voters. And, you're also looking at a time when the country is just in a very sour mood about the direction of the country. So people who come from the outside who say they're going to shake things up in Washington, the Republican Party has gone through its own version of this. You go all the way back to the Tea Party election during President Obama's first midterm election. You have a sense at the moment of a very beleaguered establishment, but how much do voters, any individual voters' policy preferences stack up an exact line? We in Washington tend to wildly overestimate, in my view, the ideological component of a lot of voting because we're policy wonks in Washington. We care about policies, and we tend to be often overstating the role in which down the line ideological views affect an election. I do think that Republicans are eager for Hong to win in Wisconsin. They are planning to make her a national case. Of course they are. Come on. I mean, it's a measure of where we are that we are having to have Democratic elected officials get on TV and defend Thanksgiving. Is this really what Democrats want? Even Bernie Sanders didn't endorse in this race, having been burned in races like the Graham Plattner race. I mean, it's not what Democrats want in one of the most competitive states in the country, that's for sure. The Democratic Party that's looking to take back power and the presidency ultimately a couple years from now.
Yeah, and AOC, who, a lot of people are eyeing for 2028, she's also declined to endorse Hong out of Wisconsin. I don't know if that changes in the coming days, if she's victorious tonight. But Senator, I need to ask you about some news that we just got from the DOJ. The Justice Department is going to conduct election monitoring in Minnesota's elections today. This is going to be at polling sites in 2 different Minnesota counties for the state's primary election. They say this is to ensure transparency, ballot security, and compliance with federal law. What do you make of this? And I ask you about it in the context of some of what we were just talking about with Sam, too.
There is no
Just
transparency
the reality of
in the Trump
election
administration
denialism here,
in any part
just
of
in
the
the
government.
candidates who are presenting on the right, but
They
also
are
in the very,
doing
very
nothing
top
but
and the
lying.
intentions we know this president may have. Do you think that some of what
Lying
happens
and covering
today
up,
could be
covering up the
a hint
Epstein
of a sign
files,
of
lying
a
about everything else.
Yeah, and let's see what it looks like on the ground. It would be one thing if they carefully deployed some monitors to watch things. We've done that for years in our elections. It's another thing if they have people in uniform standing around that are trying to intimidate people from coming to the polls or intimidate people from voting. Trump's got his main guy running in Minnesota. The pillow guy is going to be the Republican nominee for president. Talk about a candidate that has problems. That would be the pillow guy in Minnesota. So, but I do want to underline what Susan referenced in that I do think people are overestimating policy differences and underestimating insider-outsider dynamics.
Yeah.
And I get that Democrats are mad and angry and frustrated, but I hope everybody remembers that the Democrats that have struggled against Donald Trump, it's math. It's not that they didn't want to stop Donald Trump. It's not that they didn't try to stop Donald Trump. They didn't have enough people elected. And that's why so many Democrats are focused on electability right now, because we know the reason Trump was not more effectively stopped by a lot of things he's done is because we didn't have the numbers in Congress. So everybody needs to keep their eye on the prize here. It's about getting majorities.
Sam, I want to play for you something that Trump said last night. This is in an interview with the right-wing outlet Real America Voice. Take a look at this.
You have the right to declare a national security emergency for elections. And the Supreme Court ruled in 1983 under Reagan that INS versus Chadha, that if you declare a national security emergency as the President of the United States, they can't challenge it. It can only be overturned by a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. So if you do this in the next month, we will get photo ID, proof of citizenship, and a limit to mail-in ballots. And
Let me say the stranger things have happened. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
We already have all
So for
that.
anyone who couldn't hear very clearly, at the end there, the president is saying stranger things have happened, and I'm going to leave it at that. Sam, what's going on there?
Have stranger things happened? I'm not totally sure. That would be very strange for the president to do that type of action. I'm not saying he's ruling it in or out, because Trump traditionally does things like that, where he leaves open the door for the possibility but never rules anything out. But look, I mean, obviously he has an appetite for this type of thing. He's been pushing the SAVE Act for months, much to his frustration because it's going nowhere in the Senate. Obviously he's deploying, as you mentioned, DOJ officials to specific election sites, and he has a well-known history of pushing disinformation about voter security and election integrity. Does this compel him to do something extraordinary like what was outlined by Wayne Allen Root? I don't know. But I know, talking to Democrats, they're not taking the possibility lightly, that they're prepared for this type of thing, much more so than they were in 2020 or even 2024. I fear, honestly, that there is going to be efforts, I don't know if it's going to be like that, to throw this election into chaos and to throw the post-election counting into chaos, and to end up in a place where you have artificially contested election results that then compel the DOJ or the House Speaker to say, we can't seat these people because this is still in litigation. And then what happens? You're in a real constitutional crisis at that point. That's a real concern. Don't know if it's going to happen, but as Trump says, you can't rule it out.
You cannot rule it out. And you are not the first person, even this week, on this show to talk about the potential dynamic there. Everyone is sticking with me, because next we're going to talk about how an Iranian assassination threat led to an elaborate ruse to fly the president out of Turkey last month after the NATO summit. And a reminder, Money, Power, Politics is coming to you live. Our first live audience show is slated for Thursday, September 17th. Just scan the QR code on your screen and sign up for a chance to get your ticket. Money, Power, Politics is back in just 90 seconds. This morning, revealing the extraordinary lengths the president and his team went to last month after the NATO summit, hiding Trump in a catering truck and moving him from Air Force One to a secret military plane for a flight from Turkey to London. All of this amid Secret Service concerns about an Iranian assassination threat against Trump. The White House explicitly told the public Trump was on the old Air Force One. And news organizations, including MS Now, mind you, watched the president board that very plane. But the revelation of this secret swap comes from material reviewed by the Post, a U.S. official familiar with the operation, and another person with knowledge of Trump's travel. I want to underscore what this means for a moment. The president's actual location was hidden not only from the public, but from some senior American officials for hours. Journalists and White House staff members thought the president was riding on a plane with them, meaning they were effectively decoys, helping preserve an elaborate illusion. The White House responded to the report, telling the Post in part, as the president has said recently, there are many enemies of America who have their sights on him, and we use every tool at our disposal to address those threats. And joining me now, David Rode, MS Now senior national security reporter. Sam, Susan, and Claire are still with me too. So David, you've covered national security for a very, very long time. So I'm going to let you start with your reaction to this pretty incredible reporting.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary account of what happened. And first I want to say, there are serious threats to the president's life. There were 2 assassination attempts. It would be a disaster for this country if he was killed. On that note, though, I think the fact that it was kept secret is that the fact that it makes the president, I would think, look weak. The president of the United States sort of hid in a catering truck and secretly got off the catering truck and then walked onto another plane. It would have been, I think, better for the American public, for the sense of transparency, to maybe make this public after it was done. But as far as I know, no president, and Susan and other guests know more, has done anything like this. There was one incident, Bill Clinton, where he landed in Pakistan, I think in a smaller plane, but that was immediately disclosed.
Well, Senator, you served on the Armed Services Committee. do you have questions, or would you have questions about this operation, this switcheroo?
Well, I think it's weird, but I'm kind of with David on this. If they had disclosed this after the fact, then I think everyone would be a little more comfortable with the fact that we're finding out from deep-sourced folks that this has happened is probably not great. But they were trying. I think there probably was a credible threat, and I don't think anybody would argue that Iran would like. We took out their entire senior leadership of their country, and they are extremists, and Trump is their number one enemy. So I understand why they would go to extraordinary lengths to try to protect him if it really was a credible threat. If we had a Democratic president in the same position, I think all of us would say, well, you know, I'm glad they figured out a way to protect the president better. Just because it's Donald Trump and we think he's a horrible president, we should keep in mind that the president's protection is important for our country. And it would be a terrible thing for any president to be assassinated, especially by a foreign government.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree with you on that. The president's safety is incredibly important. I think the first question, Sam, that this raised for me was just, is the implication that the staffers and the journalists who are left behind, though, that they are expendable to some extent? That was the element of the story, I guess, that surprised me. If the threat is so serious that the president needed to secretly switch to another plane, I guess I'm concerned about the people left behind.
Yeah, that was top of my mind too. I mean, I obviously agree with everything Claire said, and it makes total sense that you want to protect the president, and that's the job of the Secret Service. And using a decoy, if that's what you feel like is needed to protect the president, then go ahead and use the decoy. But as I understand it, as I read the piece, what happened was that they thought there was a credible threat to Air Force One, the original Air Force One, not the Qatari jet. So much so that they didn't think Donald Trump should ride on it. But they were also comfortable with White House staff and journalists riding. I mean, that's basically what happened. In which case, if I'm a White House staffer, if I'm a journalist who's there, I'm pretty livid right now. I would have liked to have known that information in advance.
Trump doesn't care about him. Why would you think Trump would care about him?
Or precaution taken to make sure that I wasn't, caught up in that threat. So that's top of mind. And then I guess the other thing that we sort of need to talk about a little bit is the Qatari jet, which is he rode on the Qatari jet, the repurposed Qatari jet that's now Air Force One, apparently, we don't know, to this combat, and he didn't ride on it back. And it goes to, it leaves the question of, well, what were all the expenses retrofitting this jet for if it can't handle these threats? And what are we doing now to make sure that that jet is up to snuff? That's kind of scandalous too, right? I mean, we got this gift from the government. It's not obviously.
It wasn't a gift to the government, it was a gift to Trump, which he's not supposed to have, might I remind you.
What's happening with that? But like you, my first reaction was, well, what about the staffers and what about the press?
Susan, I think people have known for a while from the reporting, and especially since the outbreak of this war, that there could be a credible threat against the president's life from the Iranians. Claire spelled out the stakes, the ruthlessness of their regime. But I think the question is one of, we know the intent is there. I guess what might surprise people is that the credibility of it, or the ability of the Iranians to actually to reach the president, being so serious that they would make a move like this. Does this change the way you view the conflict and the concerns around a potential Iranian plot? Moving from just intent to an actual ability to potentially reach President Trump?
Yeah, I mean, look, Donald Trump has been, unfortunately, a real target, a personal and specific target of the Iranians, really going back to 2020. Remember when he ordered the killing of the Iranian IRGC commander Soleimani? There has been an effort by the Iranians to target Donald Trump. That continued all the way during the 2024 campaign. This was a persistent theme when the Biden administration was responsible for supervising the Secret Service and making sure that resources were allocated to the president. I think there were concerns at the time when Trump was running as a candidate that his campaign expressed concerns. Was he being adequately protected, especially in light of not one but two attempted assassination attempts that were apparently unrelated in the 2024 campaign? The Iranians, as you know, have a long history
fake assassination
of
attempts.
terror.
You can't convince me Butler was for real.
Even outside of the region, and that's part of the reason.
One of the Secret Service allow the president, the guy they're supposed to be protecting, to bump his fist in the air and stand up for a second shooter, make a clear target for him. When are they supposed to do that? What is that in their training? I don't think so.
The question is more broadly.
That was staged like you wouldn't fucking believe. Fight!
Right now.
Oh, dude, we shouldn't make him available for a second shooter unless they already knew there wasn't a second shooter there.
The extent of that damage in the conflict, but we can talk about the apparent hacking attempts on water systems in 7 different American states recently. I think the American people should be concerned and braced for more possible fallout from the Iranian conflict. That is a very, very likely possible outcome of this unresolved conflict in the Middle East.
Yeah, we need to brace for this to continue to escalate, but also Americans are just getting exhausted, David, by the immense cost of the war as it soars. And they have this sort of visual representation every time they try to go buy goods and go to the gas station. And then you also have new reporting about the backlash right now over a gift that Trump got from the head of Belgium's diamond industry, I believe. So walk me through some of the split screen that's happening here.
So it is jarring, and it's just a story we ran this morning, and I want to just hit again. The division and grief. If President Trump were killed, it would just be a terrible thing for the country. All the tensions that exist here, and I just want to say it again. But by chance, we ran a story separately today. This was reported by the Associated Press last month, but there's the Senate, several Democratic senators are asking for answers. The main lobbying organization of Belgian, the diamond exporters, presented a gift to the president, and it was this gold 18-karat ring. It's valued between $25,000 and $35,000. The top of the watch the watch overall has 321 diamonds, 56 sapphires, 13 emeralds, and 6 rubies. The diamonds, there's a picture of it now on the screen. The top of it shows a presidential seal, and then on the sides of it, there's a diamond-encrusted T emblems that have 45 and 47 on them. We asked the White House and the Lobbying Association for comment. Don't have any comment yet.
How long has it been?
Senate Democrats. After this was given, several weeks
2
later,
hours.
An exemption that the Belgian diamond industry had from a tariff.
It's been a while since I've eaten.
For another year. So was this?
So I'm going to shut it down and grab something to eat.
Senators are asking that question.
Might come back later on today. May not come back till tomorrow. I don't know.
Listen, we've got a president and his family that have gotten mega wealthy off the
I'm definitely getting hungry.
This is a level
It's
of corruption.
1811.
So
fourth year of this map. This is Farming Simulator 22. Michigan Farms map.
Need to remember, this is not
Schafer's Ag Service Part.
You do not enrich yourself.
113.
You do not
Bravo.
Gifts and then give people things in return for them.
113 Bravo. This is the accurate replica of the farm I grew up on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all later. Y'all take care.